Xero makes invoicing your clients and getting paid a fast and seamless process. You can save an invoice as a draft, then come back and finish it later. Submit it for approval before sharing it with the client, or just approve and share it straight away. Your client receives an email to notify them that they can now access the invoice online and pay with the click of a button. And if they use Xero, they can even save the invoice directly into their organization. We call this online invoicing. So let's get familiar with sales in Xero. In the software, go to the Accounts menu, select Sales, and here we have a full sales dashboard. Along here, I can see the different statuses of my invoices and what's overdue. Drilling down anywhere here will take me into my full invoice listings, where I can navigate by tabs and sortable columns. Okay, back to the dashboard so I can show you the rest. The graphs and charts make it easy to see who's owing what and when, so I know who to follow up on. I can switch between a visual pie chart view and a simple list of who owes the most, including what's overdue for payment. My search button allows me to quickly search by contact, invoice number, reference, and I have other filters to add to my search criteria like date range. To create an invoice, I go to the New button. There's other options if I click the down arrow like repeating invoices, credit notes, or invoicing an entire group of contacts. Let's create an invoice. I enter the customer name, date, that sort of thing. Put in a bit of description and I'll code it to my sales account. Sometimes I use items if it's something standard, so I don't have to type it all in every time. Now I can save this invoice as a draft and come back to it later, or submit it for approval if someone else needs to scan their eye across it before it goes out to the client. Or I can just approve it, and up here I can click on email to email it to the client. Now here's where it gets interesting. Once the client receives the email, a link takes them into an online invoice, which they can pay immediately by clicking on the Pay Now button. Just beneath that, they can click in here to query or comment on the invoice. Up in the top right, they can print off a PDF or create a CSV file for the invoice. We're going to click on Save so I can show you what this does. Now, if your client uses Xero, they can choose Login, where they can save the invoice into their Xero organization as a draft bill. Of course, you can do the same if you receive a Xero online invoice from one of your suppliers. If they don't use Xero, they can choose the other option to create a free login. This free login doesn't create a Xero organization for them, rather it just provides a few useful features at no cost. For example, it will store the invoices for them under Messages, this envelope icon up near the top right of your screen. Over on the top left, it will also enable them to view their entire statement online and pay off any other invoices they might owe. And here they can download a PDF of their statement as well. And if your client does want the benefits of cloud accounting, well, they can start using Xero for their business by going up to My Xero and click on Add Your Business, which will take them through the setup process. Now back in Xero, when I click into the invoice, I can see from the history if the customer has viewed the invoice I sent them, so no more excuses like they didn't receive the email. One last thing I'd like to share with you in this session is how to get your branding on the invoice. Let's go to the Settings menu, General Settings, and down into Invoice Settings. Here we can click on Upload Your Logo. Now your logo will appear on all your invoices. You can create as many other branding themes as you like and choose from these when you're creating your invoices. Now let's go into Options and Edit so we can put in our terms and payment advice to appear at the bottom of our invoices. And here's where you put in your PayPal email address so that Pay Now button we saw on the online invoice your client accesses will enable payment by PayPal. And if you want to boost the profile of your business using social media links on your invoices, you can do that from the Settings menu, General Settings, and into Organization Settings. Just put in your social media links into those fields and they will appear on your invoice like so. Nice. Now you have what you need to get started invoicing your clients, and with online invoicing, you can dramatically improve the time it takes to get them paid.